जयो राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। जयो राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। जयो राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। जयो राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe Jai Gauranitai 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 Jai Gauranitai Jai Jai Prabhupada 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So welcome all of you all for day 3 of the journey of self discovery course. So today we are going to discuss this topic called who am I or search for identity. So yesterday we discussed this topic of does God exist. So what did we discuss in yesterday's topic? What were the various subtopics that we discussed? Anyone remembers? Yeah.
Creation implies a creator.
Yeah, we saw proof of existence of God, right? 5 or 6 proofs. Creation implies creator. What else? Pardon?
Where to find God in scriptures and
Yeah. So we also discussed about ways of gaining knowledge about God, and we saw there are 3 ways, but the best is Shabda Praman, a word of authority. Just like you go to a school, college, learn from a proper authority. So similarly, to understand about God, you have to learn from a proper parampara, a Guru Shishya parampara, and from the scriptures. Anything else you all remember from yesterday's session?
relative property.
That was the first one, but good. Remembering yesterday's session. Anything else you all remember? Yeah, we saw the definition of God. What is the definition of God?
Creator,
Huh?
It's a supreme.
Supreme power, yeah, but we defined it more clear. Supreme source, supreme controller, supreme enjoyer, supreme proprietor. And one more definition we saw. What is that? Bhagavan. Bhagavan matlab, what does it mean? One who has 6 things in full. Strength, wealth, beauty, knowledge, fame, renunciation. Good. Anything else you remember from yesterday's class? Sometimes it's good to ask questions. You're made to think. Your neurons connect. Anything else you remember? Good. I think this much. Basically, we saw proof of existence of God. Then we saw how to see God through qualifications. Then we saw ways of gaining knowledge. And then we saw why we should put faith in scriptures. Just like we put faith in doctors, or you put faith in so many things. So similarly, we put a certain level of reasonable faith in scriptures. So today, we are going to discuss this very important topic called Who Am I? Or Search for Identity. So in today's session is a relatively small session but an important session. We are going to see 4 subtopics in today's session. First is who am I? Second is proof of the existence of Atma or soul. Third, we are going to discuss how many bodies we have. And fourth, some frequently asked questions on Atma, rebirth, like that. Okay? So whenever we are asked this question, who are you? Generally, how do we answer? How do you answer this question? If someone asks you, who are you? How will you answer it? You tell your name. That's the first thing that generally comes. Okay. Huh?
Your identity.
Yeah, identity matlab how? With reference to your name.
Your name.
Name, surname.
Your surname, father's name.
Father's name, yeah. So name basically. Any other way you can answer this question? Who are you? Any other way? Someone may say, I'm an engineer. You identity only ultimately, but you identify not with your name but with your profession, right? People are very proud to be engineers, doctors, right? I'm an engineer, I'm a doctor, like that. Or any other way you can answer this? Who are you? What are the way you can answer this question?
Children of God.
Children of God, correct? Yes, good. Thank you for that. Yeah. But generally, when we are asked this question, who are you? We may either say our nationality. I'm an Indian. I'm an American. Or we may refer to a religion. I'm a Hindu. I'm a Christian. Basically, right? But if you actually see these things properly, these are labels that we have taken up. But these are not we, it is not us. We may identify with our name. Everyone loves their name, na? Right? They say that the sweetest thing is your name. Everyone loves to hear their name. Something very romantic about everyone's name. Right? But the problem is, before we are born or after we are born, the few days before we are named, what was our name at that time? Okay, and after death, what is our name going to be? So for some time we identify with that label, that name, and we feel that this is me. But names can be changed. Can it be changed? You can change names. So when you change your name, do you change?
No.
You don't change. Similarly, someone may identify with a profession, right? Or your education. I'm an engineer, I'm a doctor. But professions can be changed. You can learn in a different education again and you can change your profession altogether. So if an engineer becomes a doctor or a doctor becomes something else, a manager or an entrepreneur, does that person change? He doesn't change. Religion also. We can change even religion, right? A Hindu may become a Christian may become a Hindu. But even if someone changes religion, does that person change? That person doesn't change. So through all these changes, there is something that doesn't change, and that is the Atma, that is the soul, that is our identity. We are not our name, we are not a profession, we are not what our educational qualification is, we are not even what our religion is, so called tag of religion, right? I'm a Hindu, I'm a Christian. This is not our identity, right? Who are we? The scriptures explain Aham Brahmasmi. If you all have heard this aphorism, Aham Brahmasmi means I am spirit. I am not body. I am not matter. I am spiritual entity. Right? This is what the scriptures ascertain. So in today's session, we are going to discuss who we are, more about the Atma. We are also going to discuss what is birth. Where do we come from? Have you ever thought about this? Right? We were all born at a particular year, right? 1983, 84, whenever you were born. 1 year before, where you were? Any idea? No idea. Huh? Yeah, in the universe, yeah, somewhere. And what is death? A more deeper question and a more stronger question. Where do we go from here? Now we are there in this existence. After death, where do we go? Where do we go? What is our existence? So in today's session, we are going to discuss life after death. Is it a fact or a fiction? Is there something called life after death? Or is this life all in all? So there was a doctor called Dr. Harry Monson, professor of anatomy, Illinois College of Medicine. So he made a very interesting study. He found out what is the human body made of. We are all very proud of our human body, na? Proud of our own body. We all love our own body. So he made a study, what are the various chemicals in a human body, an average human body. He found out that most of the human body, the weight, body mass is mainly water. Just like this world also, the entire planet Earth, most of the body mass of Earth is water only, right? Land is very, very limited. So similarly in this body, most of it is water. You leave the water aside. He removed a list of all the other chemicals that are there in the body. Calcium, phosphate, potassium, sulfur, sodium, on and on. And he found out how much quantity is there in the body of each of these chemicals. Calcium 5 pounds, phosphate 1.5 pounds, like that. And then he went to the market and he found out what are the market value of all these chemicals. 5 pounds calcium, which is there in the average human body, what is the value? Phosphate 1.5 pounds, what is the value? And he calculated everything. And his research was, this human body is worth 110 rupees. How much it is worth? 110 rupees. That's the worth of this human body, chemical value worth, right? So my question is, if you have your best friend who has bought a very costly car, a high-end BMW car, and on his maiden ride, the first day he bought this car, he meets with a severe accident. The car is damaged and his friend is also in a mess. What will you do first? Will you take the car to the garage or friend to the hospital? Friend to the hospital. Okay, now I'll ask you the question again. The car, which is worth 1 crore rupees, has met with an accident. And your friend who's worth 110 rupees, he is also injured. What is more intelligent? To save the 1 crore car or 110 rupees friend? Why? That means there is something in that friend that is more valuable than 110 rupees. Getting the point? So you're not going to save the body. It's not exactly about the body. You're valuing the spirit that is there in that body. As soon as the spirit leaves, someone is dead. Is there any value to the human body? There is no value to the human body. It can't be used for anything. See, the other animals, after they die, there is some value to their bodies. This human body has no value after death. Thrown in trash, just burnt away or buried. So the point is, there is something in our body that is making this body more valuable than just 110 rupees. And that something refers to the spirit or Atma. Once that Atma leaves, the body has no value. Guess this emotion. What is the emotion that the child is going through here? Child is happy. What is this emotion? Frustration. What is this emotion? Sick or in stress, whatever. So, do you think all these emotions are simply chemical reactions? Many people feel that all these emotions, happiness, distress, frustration, elation, surprise, all these are just secretion of chemicals. It's just not secretion of chemicals. There is something more deeper. Imagine like this camera, this mobile camera is recording the whole thing, or a mobile may, a video camera may record an entire drama, may exactly record everything. But after the entire drama, can the camera give an opinion which actor was the best? No, because the camera can record, but the camera cannot feel the emotions because the camera is dead. There is no spirit in it. Because we have spirit, the Atma is there in our system. Therefore, when we see something, we can feel the various emotions. So, we are just not a bag of chemicals. Our identity is something more deeper and higher. So, then what is our true identity? Scriptures explain that we are not this temporary body, but we are the eternal soul. So this is a very, very important and fundamental knowledge. Lord Krishna speaks 18 chapters in the Bhagavad Gita. But the first set of instruction Lord Krishna gives is this. You are not the temporary body, but you are the eternal soul. So this is the basics of spiritual life. Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of ISKCON, if you hear Srila Prabhupada's lectures, Prabhupada would stress this point so many times. We are not this body, we are spirit. We are not this body, we are spirit soul. Until we understand this, even theoretically, our spiritual life will not begin. Human life, the energy, the purpose, the time of human life is completely lost because people don't understand the simple concept that we are not the body, we are spirit soul. We do so much for this body. How much do we do for the Atma? That is what the question is. So if we are intelligent, we will realize that we are spirit. We need to invest time for the spiritual things that will actually feed the soul. Not only in the Bhagavad Gita, but even Western thinkers, great philosophers in the West, have accepted the fact that we are not this body, but we are spirit. This is a very great philosopher called Henry David Thoreau. So he said, good for the body is work for the body. Good for the soul is work for the soul. Just like we work for the body, it's also important that we work to take care of the soul, the Atma. Socrates, who had great faith in this spiritual concept of the presence of Atma, he would read Bhagavad Gita. Socrates, he said, catch me if you can. If you read the life of Socrates, towards the end, he was fed poison, hemlock poison. Socrates, even while having that poison, he said, you all can't even see me. How can you all kill me? This poison will kill this body, but the poison cannot kill the Atma. The Atma is eternal. So once you understand this philosophy of you being spirit, we being spirit, immediately there is freedom from all anxiety. Because we are identifying with this body, we come under so much anxiety. As soon as we identify with the spirit, we are freed from all anxiety. So this is Lord Byron who said, one certainly has a soul, but how it has come to allow itself to be enclosed in a body is more than I can imagine. So many people in the West, even intelligent people in the West have accepted and are still accepting the philosophy that there is something higher than the body. They may not clearly understand whether it is a spirit or not. They may not able to clearly articulate it, but definitely there is something higher. So reality of the soul is both accepted in the East and in the West. And especially in the land of India, it is a common thing. It is a common thing that even an uneducated man in the land of India knows few things. He understands that he is Atma. He understands that one should not do bad karma, he will suffer. He understands that there is life after death. He understands all these things. Srila Prabhupada, in the 1970s, Prabhupada went to Russia. And in Russia, there was one great academic scholar or professor in a college called Mr. Kotovsky. He had invited Srila Prabhupada to Russia. So Prabhupada was having a discussion with them. And this Professor Kotovsky was saying to Srila Prabhupada that there is no life after death. This life is all in all. So Prabhupada was mentioning that in the land of India, even a simple beggar, a person who is doing some small work, he understands this point that, Baba, there is a next life. If I don't do this life well, in the next life I will have to suffer. But Prabhupada is saying this is a great professor who has learned so much, but he has no understanding of life after death. So Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita explains very clearly. The Western thinkers may have a little idea of spirit, of Atma, but in Gita Bhagavatam there is a lot of discussion, a lot of thought process and a lot of information given on the spiritual platform. So Lord Krishna says we are not the temporary body, but we are the eternal soul. The second chapter of Gita, as soon as Lord Krishna starts to speak, the first chapter of Gita, Lord Krishna hardly speaks. It is Arjuna speaking. As soon as Lord Krishna starts to speak in the second chapter, Lord Krishna is speaking this concept of we being the Atma. Lord Krishna says here, this is second chapter, 22nd verse, Vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya namani grinati naroparani tata sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati namani dehi. Lord Krishna says, just like a person gives up an old dress and takes up a new one, right? When your dress becomes old, what do? Just throw it away, give it to someone and you buy a new dress. Similarly, Lord Krishna says, this body is like a dress. This body is like a dress for the Atma. So once this dress becomes old, what the Atma does? It goes to another new dress. It takes up another body. Or like a vehicle, right? You may have a vehicle, a four-wheeler. As soon as the four-wheeler gets very old, what do? Just give it away and buy a new one. So similarly, this body is like a dress or this body is like a vehicle. As soon as it gets old, it doesn't function, then the Atma takes a new body or new dress. This is called death. What is death? Death is just a change of body, a change of dress or a change of vehicle. Lord Krishna tells in the same Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 13th verse, Dehinosmin yata dehe komaram yovanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namuyyati. Dhiras tatra namuyyati. That means a sober person, an intelligent person who understands this concept of Atma, he is not bewildered. Lord Krishna says, even in this life, we go through so many deaths. The body is continuously dying. Just like when we were a small child, that body is gone now. You've seen your picture of yourself as a small child. Where is that body now? You may say the body has grown, but technically in one sense that small body is gone. Now you have a different body. 10 years down the line, you'll have a different body. Just like in this life, you keep changing bodies. Similarly, at the time of death, the soul changes into another body. That's what death is. Very simple. So Lord Krishna is saying, death is something that is happening at every moment. This change is happening at every moment. So similarly, at the point of death, the body is changed and the Atma gets another body. Lord Krishna, the way we can understand the body and the soul is through this example. We have just like a driver and a car. A driver has mouth to speak. The driver has eyes to see. The driver has a heart to pump blood. And he has legs and hands to move. Similarly, the car has horns to sound. I'm showing you the similarity, right? Just like the driver can speak, the car also can make sound, it has horns. The driver can see, the car also has some headlights. It looks like eyes only. The car has a radiator that can supply water, cool the system, and the car has wheels to move. Now, the question is, can the car move without the driver? Cannot move. You may say there are automated cars now, AI cars, but still there is someone who is doing it, someone who is operating it. So the point is, even if the car is perfect, petrol is full, engine is perfect, everything is there, but if the driver is not there, the car is not going to move, the car will be declared dead. So when the car moves, is the car actually moving? It is the driver who's making the car move. As soon as the driver comes out, the car is not going to move. Getting the point? So similarly, this body is like a car. So we hands, legs, everything is moving. But is this moving on its own? As soon as the Atma leaves, this body will not be able to move at all. Getting the point? So it is the Atma that is the driver that is making this body move. We think that the body, hands, legs are moving, but it is all moving because of the presence of the Atma. Once that Atma leaves, the body is dead. So basically, it's thought that the body dies later. The body is always dead. Matter is dead. Matter cannot move. Only the presence of the Atma makes the body appear to move. Just like gloves, now you may have a glove and the glove may move. Why is the glove moving? Because someone has put his fingers and making the glove move. As soon as the fingers come out, the glove will fall dead. The glove was always dead. It didn't have life at all. Only the presence of that spirit is making it appears that the glove is moving. Similarly, the Atma is actually what is causing the body to move. Srila Prabhupada would often give this example. One time, there was one lady. This lady had a parrot in her house. She loved the parrot. So she decided, let me get a golden cage for the parrot. So she put all her money in and she got a golden cage for the parrot. And she started to polish the cage because gold, only when it shines, it looks good. Otherwise, there's no value. She started to polish that gold so much, 1 week she forgot to feed the parrot. After 1 week, she goes and sees the cage is shining, the parrot is dead. Prabhupada would often tell this story. This is the story of modern civilization. Everyone's body, this body is like a cage, right? Everyone's body is shining in this world today. Everything people do for this body. But the problem is, no one is feeding the Atma. People have forgotten that there is something called Atma also. Atma is dead in people's life. And therefore, people are frustrated, people are unhappy, people are not satisfied because they are not feeding the Atma. You have so many shops here, body shops, right? So many body shops out there. Do you have any soul shop? Imagine, whatever we do, everything is for the body, right from morning till night. We eat for the body, sleep for the body, we decorate the body, we do everything for the body. What do we do for the soul? 24 hours throughout our entire life for the body. How much time we give for the Atma? This is where the question is. So the point is, when we understand this basic knowledge that we are Atma, we are not body. How much ever you take care of the body, we are not saying we should not take care. Definitely should take care. But there is a difference between taking care and pampering. Right? We should not pamper this body too much. How much ever you eat, how much ever you do, whatever you want, this body is eventually going to die. Is there any guy the fittest guy in this world. They may be a fitness trainer or yoga guy, whoever, yoga guru. They are eternal or they also meet with death. They also meet with death, isn't it? So how much ever you take care of the body, eventually the body is definitely going to die. So the point is, we have to invest some time in taking care of the need of the Atma, which is who we actually are. If we think that we are someone else, that means we are crazy. One time, Jawaharlal Nehru went to a mental asylum. You all know mental asylum? Where mad people stay. So Jawaharlal Nehru went to a mental asylum, and one guy, he went to do some inspection of the mental asylum. So one guy came and asked him, "Who are you?" Nehru said, "What do you mean, who are me? Who I am?" I said, "I'm Jawaharlal Nehru." And this guy started to laugh. He said, "I also said I am Nehru. After I came here, I became okay." So this fellow is telling Nehruji, "You also come here, you will also become okay." So why is this fellow in the mental asylum? Because he is thinking he is Nehru, he is someone else. So in this world, we are all mad. Why? Because we are actual Atma, but we are thinking we are this body. That means what? If you think you are something else, technically we are all crazy and mad. So this world is a place for mad people. And this entire civilization is programming us to become mad. We have lost sense of who we actually are. There is a lot of subtle programming going on. Right? We are made to, it's the entire world, the atmosphere, the education, everything is convincing us that we are this body, we are this body, we are this body. Is there anywhere other than a spiritual program, anywhere, in any school, any college, is knowledge given about the Atma? Is it ever given? Then what is the point? What is the point? Srila Prabhupada one time went to MIT. You all know MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It's like the father of IIT basically. What is IIT in India? The boss of that is MIT in the West. So Prabhupada went to MIT and Prabhupada gave a Gita class. After that, the professor there took Prabhupada on a tour, MIT campus. World famous campus, this department, that department. Prabhupada was not impressed. Prabhupada said, "Where is the department that will tell me what is the difference between a dead man and an alive man? The person was alive, now he is dead. What has happened to him? Heart is there, kidney is there, everything is there. Bring him back to life. Can you do that? Where is this department?" Prabhupada said, "You all have made such a big university, everything related to the body. Is there one department that is related to the Atma? No department." So this is what is missing in today's society. Everything is there, but knowledge of the Atma is completely missing. So it's very important that we understand this basics, that we are not this temporary body, we are the eternal Atma. So now you may say, "Prabhuji, all this is okay, but I am a scientific guy, I need proofs. Without proof, I don't accept anything." Just like I told you, I think yesterday or day before, even to prove that you are born, you have to show a birth certificate. If you don't have a birth certificate, no one will accept that you are born also. They will say you are dead. You have to prove everything. So we have to prove that we are Atma. So here are certain proofs to prove that we are spirit. The first proof is called common sense, which is very uncommon now. People don't have common sense. So when someone dies, what do we generally say? We say he has passed away. Or we say chala gaya, mar gaya, guzar gaya, whatever. So when we say he has passed away, she has passed away, who has passed away? The body is there only, no? Who are you talking about? Who is gone? Who is gone? The Atma is gone. The Atma is gone. You see people crying here. Chala gaya, chhod ke chala gaya. Arey, kaun chhod gaya? If he was the body is still there. Why are you crying? You are crying because the Atma is gone. So all this while, what you are thinking? You are thinking that that person is this body. At the time of death, you are now realizing that That person was never the body, he was the Atma, and that Atma is gone now. Shankaracharya, one of our great acharyas in this land, he gives a classic example. Classic example. He says that, husband and wife, they might have stayed together for like 40, 50 years. This is the land of India. Now things are changing. But in the land of India, once married, you are married for a lifetime, right? Whatever it is. Even when Ravan was married to Mandodari, Mandodari didn't like what Ravan did, but she didn't file a divorce. She hooked on and stayed on. So, if someone, husband and wife, they have stayed for 40, 45 years together. Husband passes away. Now you tell the wife, now the body of the husband is there, dead body. You tell the wife, tomorrow morning we will do cremation. One night you sleep with your husband. What do you think the wife will say? Huh? No? क्या हो गया? 40 साल का प्रेम कहाँ चला गया? So if that husband was the body, she has slept with that body, she has been around with that body for 40, 45 years. What is the problem in spending one night? She will say, nothing doing. Today only take it out. And language also changes. Till now you were saying him. Now as soon as the soul goes, what it becomes? It. Take this body out. Isko bahar nikalo. So language also, respect also is gone. So Shankaracharya says, what is this? If this person was the body, you have spent 45 years in it with the body, what is the point? What is the harm in spending one night? So it's very clear that whom we have a relationship with, whom she thought was the husband, was never the body, it was the spirit. And that spirit has gone, the body is now useless. No one wants to spend 1 hour with it. Getting the point? So this means common sense. As soon as we realize with common sense, we will understand that very clearly. So spiritual life is all about common sense. If you have common sense, you will understand the simple facts of Gita in everything that you see. So we are not this body, because when someone leaves, we say he has passed away or she has passed away. Second proof is called intuitive understanding. Like, you say my watch, the language which you use, you say my watch. Or you say my mobile. We never say I watch. Do we say I watch? You say my watch. You never say I mobile, my mobile. What does it mean? That means this watch belongs to me, but I am not the watch. Getting the point? So similarly, we say my hand, my leg, my body. Never I body. English usage is what? My body. What does my body mean? I am not this body. The body belongs to me. This is called intuitive understanding. Okay? The third proof is called consciousness, which is the symptom of the soul. What is the symptom of the soul? Consciousness. Like I give you this example, camera watching and a person watching. The camera may watch, may record everything, but there is no consciousness, there is no Atma in it, so there is no consciousness. What does consciousness mean? Consciousness means you can feel things. Now, if I take this mobile and throw it on the ground, do you think this mobile is going to feel any pain? No, it is dead matter. It is not going to feel pain. Now, if I take one cat or a kitten, throw it on the ground, will the kitten feel pain? It will feel, because there is Atma in it. Now, if the Atma goes out of the kitten, then you take that kitten's body, throw it on the ground, it's not going to feel anything. Getting the point? Because there is no Atma, the consciousness is not there. So, symptom of the soul is consciousness. So, we cannot see the soul, but we can feel the symptom of the soul everywhere. Getting the point? Like sometimes, when there is a sunrise, the sun is still not visible in the horizon, but the sun rays is everywhere already, isn't it? In the early morning hours, the sun rays is everywhere, sun is still not to be seen. But what conclusion you can come to? Sun is there. Because if the sun is not there, how the sun rays will be there? So similarly, we may not be able to see the Atma, but we can feel the symptom of the Atma. that sun rays, that consciousness that is spread throughout the body, that means Atma is there. So three symptoms of Chetana. If anyone is conscious, anyone is alive, three things will happen. First is thinking. Second is feeling. And the third is willing. This mobile, can it think? Cannot think. Can it feel? Cannot feel. Can it desire? Cannot desire. Because Atma is there in me now, I can think, I can feel, I can will desire. When the Atma leaves the body cannot think, the body cannot feel, the body cannot even desire. Getting the point? So symptom of the soul means consciousness, and consciousness means three things: thinking, feeling, willing. So the point that we are able to think, feel and will, that means the presence of Atma is there even though I cannot see the Atma. Just like we discussed yesterday, we may not be able to see God, but we can see the effects of God's presence everywhere. Everything is working perfectly, there is organization, there is design, there is everything perfect. That means God is there. Otherwise, how it can happen? So similarly, because the Atma is there, we are able to think, feel and will. A dead matter like a mobile or any other thing cannot feel, cannot will and cannot think. All these three things are not there. So this is the third proof. Consciousness is symptom of the soul. Are you understanding? Can we go ahead? So the fourth proof is called near-death experience. What is near-death experience? Near-death experience means like someone who is going through a critical surgery, like a heart transplant, a major surgery where he's put into complete coma for a very long time. Many people who go through this surgery, many of them, they come back and tell the doctor exactly what has happened in the surgery. They can even tell what was the talk between the doctor and the nurses. Now this person is completely unconscious. Completely unconscious. How can he hear these conversations? That means the spirit at that point had actually come out of the body and it could witness the body. Like you can see here, the spirit is out and is witnessing the whole body. That means the Atma is different from the body. And these are not one or two cases. If you go to the net and you type NDE, near-death experience, you'll find unlimited cases of people. There's a doctor called Dr. Michael Sebam. He's filed many cases like this. And these are not people who have faith in the soul. These are just random people who have absolutely no faith. Still such people have such experiences like this. This is called near-death experience. Similarly, fifth proof is called reincarnation. Reincarnation means small children, as soon as they start to speak, many of them, they start to speak about their previous life. So this is a doctor of psychiatry, West Virginia, Dr. Ian Stevenson. He has compiled 2000 cases like this. Many cases of small children. Children who have not seen anything beyond their village. They speak of some other village, some other people. And when they go there, they actually find those connections. So here, you can go to the internet and you can find many stories like this. So this is a small girl called Sukla. She would, as soon as she would learn to speak, she would speak of a lady called Mana. That is what she was in a previous life. And she would speak about her husband, her family, a village. They went to that place exactly. All those things are there. So this is William Barnes, Thomas Andrew. Thomas Andrew, the first and the second picture is of the same person, William Barnes. The middle picture is of Thomas Andrew. Thomas Andrew is the one who designed the Titanic ship. So William Barnes was considered like a reincarnation. Thomas Andrew was born again. Some interesting connections between both of them. William Barnes was born on April 14, 1953, the anniversary date of the sinking of Titanic. William Barnes was born on the day Titanic sank after 41 years after the tragedy. Every ship has something called a hull number. Interestingly, the hull number of Titanic was 401, which reflects the number 41, exactly 41 years. The day Barnes was born, the first black and white movie of Titanic was released. If you study this, so Thomas Andrew and William Barnes are like 41 years apart. After Thomas Andrew died, William Barnes was born 41 years later. And how Thomas Andrew died? He died in the Titanic ship only. A huge block of iron hit his head and he died. So William Barnes, right from his childhood, he would have nightmares. As a small child, he would have nightmares. He would feel that something hitting his head, and he would get very scared. He would get very scared of water. So many children who have like lot of different phobias could be a phobia that they are carrying from a previous life also. So he had to go through a lot of regression sessions, hypnotic sessions, to just come out of all those nightmares. If you study these two people, the hairline that they have, the square forehead, the shape of the eyebrows, shape of the nose, shape of the lower part of the chin, almost same if you study it, right? 41 years later, still they are able to, there is so much things that are matching between them. And these are just one or two. Many stories like this. There is a story of one boy, one young person who was a soldier in World War II, and he was killed by a gunshot on his throat. And when he was born again, he was a small child. From his childhood, he would have problem in his throat. He would have a problem in his throat. So many people who have birthmarks, the birthmark could be related to something of the past. So here, these are 5 proofs of the existence of the soul. First is common sense. Second is intuitive understanding. Third is consciousness, which is symptom of soul. Fourth is near-death experience, and fifth is reincarnation. Anyone has any questions, any comments till here? Okay, can you go ahead? So till now we saw who am I and what is the proof of existence of soul. Now we are going to see how many bodies we have and some frequently asked questions. So now, how many bodies we have? Many people may have different answers, but the scriptures tell us that we have 3 bodies. What are the 3 bodies? The first body, which we generally refer to as the body, is called the gross body. In Sanskrit, this is called Stula Sharira. This gross body is made of 5 elements. In Sanskrit, this is called Pancha Mahabhut. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Bhumi, Apo, Nalo, Vayu, Kam, No Buddhi Revacha. These are 5 elements. Earth, water, fire, air, and space, basically. This is what the gross body is made of. Inside the gross body is a subtle body called Shukshma Sharira. The subtle body is made of mind, intelligence, and false ego. All of us have a mind. We have a mind. Can you see your mind? Can you see someone else's mind? No. So when people say, can you show me God? The question we should ask is, can you show me your mind first? If you cannot show me your mind, then, and you still believe in the mind, then why do you ask that you have to see God? Right? We cannot see our mind, we cannot see anyone else's mind, but it's understood that we have a mind. This is called subtle, something that you cannot see. Like we study these elements only, earth, water, fire, air, ether. Each of them is more subtle than the other. Earth you can see, okay? Earth you can see, you can feel earth, you can smell earth. Water you can see also, you can touch also. Fire you can see but you cannot touch. You cannot touch, you cannot hold fire. More subtle than fire is air. You can see fire but you cannot see air, you can just feel air. More subtle than air is space. You cannot even feel space. Vacuum, space, you cannot even feel it. More subtle than space is mind. Very subtle entity. It is there but don't know where, but it is there somewhere, right? Mind. More subtle than mind is intelligence, and more subtle than intelligence is ego, ahankar. And then inside this subtle body is we, the spiritual body, Atma. Just like someone wears a shirt and a coat, right? So the shirt can be the subtle body and the coat is the gross body. Or in modern language, you have hardware, software. Understand this? Like hardware. What is hardware? Hardware is something that you can see. The screen, the mouse, the keyboard, hardware. But inside the hardware is a software. Can you see software? Software engineers, can you see software? You cannot see software. And can you tell me where is the software in the system? It's not where, it's there everywhere, but you cannot see it. So, gross body is like a hardware, subtle body is like software. Atma is like electricity. Now your mobile, your laptop has hardware, it has software. But if there is no power, will it work? It will not work. Similarly, there may be hardware, software, gross body, subtle body. If the Atma is not there, hardware, software is also not going to work. So we are the spiritual body. Understood this? So three bodies: gross body, subtle body and spiritual body. What happens at the time of death? At the time of death, gross body becomes useless. So the Atma along with the subtle body goes to the next body. Mind, intelligence, ego carries the Atma to the next body. Therefore, someone may change the body but still remember things of the past, because the mind intelligence is coming from the past only. It is being carried from one body to another. That impression, that sanskar, which is there in the mind and intelligence is carried. So this is how death happens. So we have three bodies. So the Upanishads give an example of how this body functions. Our body, the gross body, is like a chariot. Our gross body is like a chariot or a vehicle. This chariot has 5 horses. The 5 horses are the 5 senses: eyes, nose, skin, tongue and ears. 5 senses. The mind, subtle body, the mind is like the reins, the lagam, that rope that has tied to the horses. The driver is the intelligence and Atma is the passenger in this body. Getting it? We are the passenger in this body. Now, if this body is like a vehicle, like a chariot, what is the purpose of a chariot? To take you from one place to another, to take you to a destination. Now, for you to reach a certain destination, the chariot should be in your control. If it is in the control of the horses, will you reach your destination? No, horses will take you where they want. So similarly in this body is like a vehicle. If you have to reach some great destination, it is very important that we take control. And we take control, matlab the Atma decides. And the Atma controls through whom? Through the intelligence. So the intelligence should be spiritual, so that the intelligence can drive the mind and the senses to a certain direction, to a certain destination. Otherwise, the human form of life will be lost very, very royally. So this is how the Upanishads explain. So now we are coming to the last section, and then we'll open up for question answers, hopefully, if you all have. Some frequently asked questions on the soul. Does the soul have a form? The answer is yes. The soul has a form, but it has a spiritual form. See, just like gloves, the gloves has a form. Why does gloves have finger? Because body has finger, therefore gloves have finger, like that. So similarly, if there is form in this world, there is form in this world or not? This form is there, this microphone has a form, laptop has a form. So if there is form in this world, what is making these forms? It is the spirit that is giving a form. This body has a form. Every body has a form because there is the Atma that is giving a form to the body. Matter is in one sense formless. It is the presence of the Atma that gives form to matter. Just like, a potter who's making a pot, mud, it is like formless. But as soon as someone puts his intelligence, a spirit and living person puts his intelligence, then he can make that mud into beautiful different shaped pots. So similarly, it is the soul that gives form to matter. The soul has a form, but the form of the soul is spiritual, Satchit Ananda. Okay? Is the soul same in every body? No. There is an individual soul in an individual body. Even if there are two twins who look exactly same, both of them don't have same Atma. The Atmas are different. Every body has an individual Atma, which is with its individual desire, individual karma that it's coming along with. Right? So even if two people look same, the souls are different. Where does the soul reside? The scriptures explain in the region of the heart, the soul resides. And from there, the energy of consciousness is spread all over. Just like the sun is in one place, but the sun's energy, sun rays is spread around the universe. Similarly, the soul is there in the region of the heart, but the energy of the soul, Chetana, is there everywhere. Is the soul destroyed with death? We already discussed. No. Even with death, the soul is not destroyed because the body dies, but the soul doesn't die. Lord Krishna tells in the Gita 2nd chapter, Nainam Shastrani. Anyone knows that verse? Thank you so much. Nainam Chindanti Shastrani, Nainam Dahati Pavaka, Na Chainam Kledyanti Apo, Na Shoshayati Maruta. Lord Krishna says, the soul cannot be cut by any weapon, cannot be burnt by fire, cannot be dried by air, cannot be moistened by water. That means what? None of the material elements can touch the soul. The soul is eternal. The body dies, but the soul is eternal. Is the soul and God same? This is another very important point to discuss. Is the Atma and Paramatma same? The answer is, we are one in quality but different in quantity. I'll give you an example. A drop of water from the ocean and an ocean. A drop of water from the ocean has the same quality of the ocean. But can you say the drop of water is the ocean? You bring one drop of water from the ocean to your house and you say, I bought the ocean to my house. If the ocean comes to your house will not be there only. Okay? There's a difference now. Drop of water and the ocean, are they same? You can say yes and no. Same in quality. Quality is same, but quantity is different. Fire and a spark. Quality is same, but quantity is different. Or gold in a gold ring and a gold mine. Quality is same, but quantity is different. In Sanskrit, Atma is referred to as Anu. Anu means infinitesimal. God is called Vibhu. Vibhu means infinite. Infinitesimal and infinite, there is a difference. So Atma can never become Paramatma. Atma will always be Atma. Paramatma will always be Paramatma. Quality may be same, but quantity is different. Right? Same in quality. So we call this philosophy Achintya Beda Abeda Tattva. That means simultaneously oneness and difference. We are one with God in quality, but different in terms of quantity. We can never become, the Atma can never become Paramatma. Does the soul change with the changing body? The answer is no. Right? So the body, anything material goes through changes. Anything that is born in this world, it stays for some time, reaches its peak, starts to dwindle, and then dies off. Just like a child in the womb, it is born, it slowly grows, it reaches its youth, starts to go the down phase, dwindling, and then dies. Or you have the moon. In moon, it starts with the waxing moon, it reaches Purnima, full moon, it starts to wane, and then there is Amavasya, when there is no moon. Now, when the moon is growing, waxing moon, slowly it's growing, and then it reaches full moon, then it starts to come down and then becomes zero, no moon. In all these phases, is the moon changing or not? Yes, no? No. It is only to our vision it appears that the moon is changing, it has reached this point, now it is dwindling, and now you say moon is gone. On the day of Amavasya, do you say moon is dead? Moon is not there, no? Do you say moon is dead? Moon is not dead. Moon is there. You cannot see. That is all. So when we say someone is dead and we cry, that means what? You cannot see him now, but he is there in some other form somewhere. Understanding the point? So through all this growth and changes, these are only changes for the body. The Atma, it's not that the Atma is growing, Atma is dwindling, Atma has become old, Atma is young. All those words don't apply to the Atma. All those words, growing, old, young, dead, born, these are all words to the body only. Atma, there is no birth also, there is no death also, there is no old age, there is no young, there is nothing like that. It is eternal. Understanding this point? So this is what? The soul doesn't change with changing bodies. What is the size of the soul? The Upanishads explain, if you take the tip of the hair, and then you divide it into 10,000 parts, that is the size of the soul. 1/10,000 the tip of the hair. And something interesting, the soul in the elephant and soul in the ant, is it same size or different size? Same size. Okay. For driving a cycle and driving a big lorry, to drive a lorry you need big driver, same driver is enough. Vehicle size, however it may be, driver is same. You don't need big driver for big vehicle. So similarly, Atma is the same. Lord Krishna tells this in the Gita. This is how powerful the Atma is. One small spirit particle can make a huge move and huge elephant's body. Not only that, a huge whale, the same size Atma. That is how powerful the spirit is. Okay? So now, coming to the conclusion, the last section. So someone may say, or someone may have this question, can we see the soul? Can you show me the soul? This is a rose. In this rose, is there perfume in the rose? Is there perfume in rose? Yes. But can you see the perfume? No. But there's a certain process how you can see it. What is the process? You crush it. You crush the rose, there will be a certain perfume that will come. These are seeds. Is there oil in seeds? There is oil, but can you see it with your naked eye? You cannot see it. But it undergoes a certain process, you have to see the oil. This is wood. Is there fire in logs of wood? There is fire. This is called latent fire. Right? Fire is there. If it undergoes a certain process, the fire will come out. Is there ghee in milk? In a glass of milk, is there ghee or not? There is, but you cannot see it. You have to undergo if it undergoes a certain process, you will be able to see that ghee. Is there sugar in sugar cane? Definitely there is. Undergoes a certain process, you will be able to see it. Similarly, Atma is there in the body, but in order to perceive that Atma, so therefore this course is called Journey of Self-Discovery. The Atma is there, but in order to perceive, in order to realize the Atma, you have to undergo a certain process. Once you undergo a certain process, you will become self-realized. You will realize that you are not the body, you are spirit. But you have to undergo a certain process. So there is a process to see the soul. We have all done science in our school, science students. In science also there are different departments. Science only, but different departments of science. In the initial days in school, we had only one science subject. Science was science. But as you go little higher, you have science departments of science. Chemistry, physics, different departments of science coming up. So in physics department, in the department of physics, you use a scale or a vernier caliper, right, to measure some things. In chemistry department, you use litmus paper to test whether it is alkaline, acidic, like that. In department of biology, you have a microscope that you use to see microbes and other things. Now my question is, these are all departments of science, na? Can you use a microscope to decide whether the chemical is acidic or basic? Alkaline, can you use it? No. Can you use a litmus paper to study a microbe? No. Getting it? Can you use a vernier caliper to measure the size of a microbe? You cannot use it. That means what? Science only, 3 different departments. You cannot interchange instruments. You have to use microscope for biology. You can't use a scale for biology. Right? You have to use vernier caliper only for physics. You have to use litmus paper only for chemistry. You can't interchange instruments even in the same departments of science. In the various departments, same field of science, but you cannot interchange instruments. Similarly, when the question comes, show me the soul, this eye is not the instrument to see the soul. You can never see the soul with your eye. This is not the instrument, it will fail. What is the process? What is the instrument to see the soul? 2 things. One is called meditation. What is meditation? We will explain later. And the other is called study of scriptures. In Sanskrit, study of scriptures is called Swadhyaya. What does Swadhyaya mean? Swadhyaya means to study yourself. We are doing Adhyan of the entire world. What is out there? But have we studied what is inside? This is called Swadhyaya, study of scriptures. So when we read scriptures well, and when we do our meditation, our dhyan, our sadhana, then we will get the vision, we will get the eyes, we will get the instruments to see the soul. Only then it is possible. Otherwise it is not possible. So in essence, in today's session, we discussed 4 subtopics. We saw who am I, that I am spirit, I am not the temporary body. We saw proofs of existence of soul, common sense, near-death experience, reincarnation, consciousness, symptom of soul, and all these things. We saw that we have 3 bodies: gross body, subtle body, spiritual body. At the time of death, the spirit is carried by the subtle body from one gross body to another. And then we saw some frequently asked questions on the soul. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Anyone has any questions, any comments in today's topic?
Prabhuji, at the time of death, soul leaves that particular body. But when it enters into a new body, when that process takes place, is it based on the karma of that previous body?
Correct. So based on 2 things. What will decide what our next body is going to be? 2 things. We call this desire and deserve. That means what is your desire at the time of death and what do you deserve based on your karma. Right? Someone may have desire that I want to become a king in my next life. Your desire may be there, but do you have your karma to become a king? Because to become a king, to become that wealthy, you need a good karma. If both matches, then you'll become a king. So it depends on what kind of karma you have done in the past and what kind of desires you are cultivating. Both will decide what we will be in the next.
Who's the carrier of soul from this body to the other?
Who is the carrier?
Media.
The media is the subtle body. Mind, intelligence, ego, false ego.
So it goes.
It's like a subtle vehicle that takes you.
There is no this media to govern that, right?
See, God's system is set perfectly. In God's system, everything is like perfect, right? So the system of karma, we'll be discussing karma in the second last session, how the system of karma works, every action, what reaction should be calculated, everything is perfect, right? We may have forgotten what we have done, what we spoke, what we thought, but everything is getting calibrated, everything is getting calculated. And at the time, and even all the desires that we are cultivating, what karma we are cultivating, everything is calculated in God's system. So God's role is like very great and very complex, right? I always say this, to maintain one family is a big thing. God has such a huge family, in a family, father, mother, there may be 3 children. This child wants this child wants that child wants this. The father and mother like, who I shall have to listen to? Completely confused and lost. Imagine God's role, so many children and everyone has like crazy desires. And God has to fulfill this person's desire, that person's desire. So depending on your karma and your desires, God's systems work and you get a next body.
There are certain diseases which are there very easily. How does
Certain diseases? Yeah. So that's what. We'll be discussing more about this in session 5 about karma. So that's the point that, you see, when we consider this life as all in all, we will not be able to understand these things. So basically, a living entity is passing through different bodies, and through different bodies, he's carrying different karmas. Based on that, someone gets a certain birth, a certain kind of disease, a certain kind of health. It's all because of what we have done in the past.
Genetics carrying over genes.
Yeah.
Basically, I think she is speaking about it. Gene carrying over, like diabetic, that is getting carried over from mother to child.
Yeah.
Like that something.
Yeah, that is also there. But the point that you are born in a family with a father who's diabetic, that's also your karma. That's also part. See, whom we are born with, who our parents are, where we are born, it all depends on the kind of desires we have cultivated in the past and the kind of activities we have done in the past. That is what is going to decide. Yeah.
So earlier you had mentioned that some people when reincarnated, they have memories of their past life. So how is it that they remember but others can't?
Good question. I thought someone will ask that question. So certain things we don't speak in the class, we expect that the question should come up. So her question is, I mentioned that someone remembers their past life. Why don't we remember? Do you want to remember or not? Why not? I'll tell you why not. You should be grateful that you don't remember. Because I told you that story of that William Barnes. He had to go through a hell to forget his past. Imagine now, you know who you are now. What's your good name? Huh? Asmi? Okay, you are Asmi. Good. Brahma Asmi. Asmi means I am. So you are Asmi now. Okay. Imagine if you remembered what you were in your past life and you knew who your parents are in your past life. So you'll be completely confused. Is this person my father? Is that my father? It's a mess. People become very, they're lost completely. So we should be first grateful that we don't remember. Why we don't remember is, see, God, He makes people forget. I'll give you an example. The night when we go to sleep, if we don't forget who we are, we will not get sleep. Right? And in the morning, if you get up and you don't forget what you dreamt in the night, you will not be able to live your day. People live in hallucinations. Now, what is hallucinations? They are not able to differentiate between the mind, what they are seeing, and reality. It's all like cluttered for them. Forgetfulness is a good thing. Sometimes it's needed. Because you are able to forget what happened in the past, you are able to live the present. Right? So generally, just like when someone goes to sleep and when someone wakes up, he wakes up fresh. He forgets what he has slept, what he has dreamt, and he wakes up fresh so that he can live life. So death is like a sleep. You are made to forget. It's there in a very subtle form, but it's there very deep. You're made to forget so that you can start fresh. You can start all over again. You can try to live life again. experience emotions again. But some people do remember. Why? So that we all develop faith that there is Atma. God has made such people so that we develop some faith with their stories.
And what are dreams?
What are
Dreams.
what are dreams? Dreams are basically
Related to some Atma spirituality.
no, not necessarily. Yeah, some spiritual dreams may be there, but dreams is basically Srila Prabhupada would explain you may have seen gold and you may have seen a mountain, and in your dream you connect the both and you see a golden mountain. So many times dreams are illusions, but it also projects what your desires are. Many times what we cannot achieve in life, we keep dreaming of it, but in the night it comes in the form of a dream, right? So in one sense it's just mental concoctions, the mind matching 2-3 things. ठीक है? Anything else? Yes.
जैसे आपने बोला कि आत्मा का beginning भी नहीं और end भी नहीं, then how will you define the आत्मा की मुक्ति? मुक्ति हम बोलते हैं कि मुझे मुक्ति मिले, next जन्म ना मिले.
Yeah.
How will you define that?
The feet of the Lord.
So basically, when we say the Atma has no beginning, no end, that means what? What is Mukti? Mukti means Atma has gone back to its eternal home. From all this birth and death, all this drama, the Atma has gone back to the eternal home. And that's it. There also the Atma is eternal. So basically, how the scriptures explain this cycle of birth and death, Janma Mrityu. For Atma, the Atma leaves the spiritual world and wants to enjoy separately of God. And it comes to this world and is trying all its different ways of permutations, combination of enjoyment. And when the Atma realizes that all this cannot happen, it goes back. Right? So from the eternal spiritual world point of view, this whole cycle of birth and death lasts for a very short time. Right? This whole series of births and deaths, which may be for millions of years, from the point of eternity, it's a very short span. It's just like a father. In the Bible, there is the story of prodigal son. A father had 2 children. One child was a very obedient child. He would listen to the father. The other child came to the father and said, "Father, I want to be on my own. Please give me my share of money. I want to go on my own." Father said, "What do you mean your share of money? Whatever I have is yours. Why do you want your share?" But the son was very adamant. He said, "No, give me my share of money. I want to go." The father gave that money. So the son goes away, and because he had a lot of money, he didn't know how to use. So you may have money, but there is also, an art of how to use that money. So this guy didn't know that art, he didn't have that education, so he wasted all that money. And very soon he came on the street. And gradually he started to realize this mistake. He started to realize why his father was saying, "Don't leave me and go." And then finally he decides to go back to his father. And then as soon as he goes back, his father is ready to welcome him. So this is our journey. We have left the spiritual world, come to this world, independent of God, we are trying to check out. When we realize this whole thing that it's just useless, I'm not going to become happy like this, you make your journey back. It's just that phase. You have left home and then you come back home. Yes, Madhaji, you had a question?
Yeah, almost similar to this. What is the concept of moksha? You talk about moksha, no? That is one thing. Second thing, once you get a human form, can you go back to animal form?
Yes, definitely. I'll answer the second question first. You can definitely go back. Right? One time Srila Prabhupada was giving a class, and Prabhupada said, if you don't practice spiritual life, there is good chance you may become a dog in your next life. Because we saw ahara nidra bhai maitunam cha, the first verse that we saw. If you are doing only eating, sleeping, mating, defending, then why do you need human form of life? Become a dog, na? That is better. So Prabhupada is giving a lecture, and Prabhupada said, if you don't take to Krishna consciousness, spiritual life, there is good chance you may become an animal in the next life. One guy put up his hand and told Prabhupada, I don't mind becoming a dog. Prabhupada told him, my full blessings on you. Go ahead. So yes, if that is the choice you have, in the Bhagavatam you have the story of Bharat Maharaj. You know the story? Bharat Maharaj, great king, a great spiritualist, but at the time of death he got attached to a deer. And while dying, he was thinking of the deer. And in the next life, he became a deer. So like that. So it depends on what kind of desires you cultivate. Right? So, yeah. And coming back to your first question of moksha, what does moksha mean? Moksha means mukti definition. The scriptures explain mukti hitva anyata rupam swarupena vyavastiti. As soon as you're situated in your natural constitutional position, your original position, that is called mukti. That is called moksha. Prabhupada would give a very simple example. Someone is in a hospital. He's hospitalized. And there he's getting only some simple khichdi to eat, no diet, no appetite, can't move around, injections, drips everywhere. So that is unhealthy state. He cannot eat, everything is restricted for us. But he takes the treatment well, whatever the doctors give him, he will get liberated. Liberated means what? He will come back to his natural position, not in the hospital, outside the hospital. So similarly, we are in a diseased state now. What is diseased state? We have this body, that means we are diseased. Ideally, we are not supposed to have this material body. We are supposed to be in the spiritual world with a spiritual body. We have this diseased body. We are getting birth, death, all these things. Therefore, this disease condition. When we take the treatment means spiritual life. When we take your treatment properly, you will get cured of your disease. And then you'll go back out of this hospital, this material world, to your home, to the spiritual world, where you can live life normally. So this is healthy life, normal life is called mukti. And what does normal life means? Living life not on the level of the body, on the level of the soul. And what does the soul do? What is the activity of the soul? That we will see in session 6, practical application. But basically, living life in connection with God, the principle of yoga. That is the natural constitution life. That means you are liberated. Okay, anything else? One last question. Anyone else ask? Yeah. Huh? Ichamaran. Ichamaran is only with Bhishma Deva. Yeah. Ichamaran means you can choose your type of death and move.
No, these saints and all, they used to go for life, samadhi.
Samadhi, yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, some very powerful saints do that, yeah. Yeah, so there are two ideas. One idea of samadhi is if their own body, they just sit and people cover mud on them and they go in their own meditation and depart. That's one idea of samadhi. Another idea of samadhi basically means when your consciousness is completely connected with Krishna, that absolute truth. That is the state of samadhi. So for that, it's not necessarily that the stage of samadhi has to be reached only at the time of death. A state of samadhi should be reached actually while living. This is the concept of Jivan Mukta. A Jivan Mukta is one who is living, but still he has no attachments to this world. His consciousness is in the spiritual world, completely connected with God. And that is the highest stage of samadhi. Lord Krishna in the Gita explains in many, many places. So when your consciousness is connected with Krishna, completely absorbed in the thoughts of the divine, that is the stage of great samadhi. Like the gopis of Vrindavan, Srimati Radharani, they were on that stage of great samadhi of Krishna. Continuously thinking of Krishna. Yeah, we will discuss more on this on day 6. So by now you all would have realized one thing, that there are a lot of things to understand and learn. I always tell this that it's not that you join school and just in 1 year you have like a degree in hand, you are like a PhD. You have to gradually do your levels, first standard, second standard. You have to gradually move. In spiritual life also, there are a lot of things to learn and move. What little we know about spiritual life is something that we have heard here and there, seen in some TV serial, here and there, some bits and pieces. But we have not learnt it in a very systematic, proper way. So therefore, we are organizing these classes and these courses where we are trying to educate people in a systematic way. Srila Prabhupada, one of the reasons Srila Prabhupada started this society, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is to educate people spiritually in a very systematic, in a very scientific way. When you understand things step by step, standard by standard, then you will gradually grow. Otherwise, very high concepts, immediately you will not be able to jump in. You have to gradually, slowly grow ahead. Okay? So we will, Yes, Madhuri? Ghost. Good.
People say, Mukti, moksha, all this kind of stuff.
About ghost, yes. So what is ghost? Good question. So ghost means, what? Someone who doesn't get a gross body, he is on the platform of the subtle body. That is ghost. So generally, someone who has done very bad karma, someone who's committed a suicide or murder, like very bad kind of sin, such a person gets a ghostly body, which is a punishment. I'll tell you how it is a punishment. Subtle body has mind. Mind means desires. Mind has desires. Now imagine, if you have a desire, I want to eat a gulab jamun, but you don't have a body, how will you eat? To eat a gulab jamun, you need a body, now you need a mouth, no, to eat. But if you don't have a body, it is a suffering. Therefore, what these ghosts do, they enter into someone else's body to fulfill their desire. Because they don't have a body of their own. They have desires, they don't have a body of their own, they fulfill their desires through someone else's body. They try to haunt someone else and get their things done. So it's a big suffering. Ghostly existence is a big suffering. So therefore, committing suicide is something that is highly discouraged, because such people, they will get these kinds of bodies. One who does like very grievous kinds of sin, crimes. And it's big suffering, and people have to suffer like this for a long time, until either some of their forefathers, some of their descendants pray for them. So therefore, doing Shraddha on a regular basis is also important, because some of your forefathers, we don't know who will be in which body. Someone may be in a ghostly body, someone may be suffering. And they are waiting because they can't help themselves, they need some external help. So when someone else done some Shraddha, something offered to Vishnu, that benefit goes to them. And slowly they are liberated. Like today's Ekadashi, like this, there are a lot of glories on Ekadashi. Like someone who follows an Ekadashi vow properly, the benefit goes to their forefathers who may be in conditions like this. Okay? Hare Krishna. So good. Compared to last 2 sessions, I'm happy that you all had questions today. So I was worried that no one is asking questions. So tomorrow we are going to do another very important topic called One God, Many Gods. Very controversial topic, but a very important topic. One God, Many Gods. Please do come tomorrow at 7 p.m. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Let's put that.